Hi there, I'm Nairi Roos from Leeds Explosion and a very warm welcome. Today we are joined by the amazing content repurposing whiz, Sally Curtis, who works with brilliant individuals to leverage their existing content to engage and entice their audience through the power of visually emotive bite-sized content. Sally and her team are best known for turning books into 2 years worth of social media posts. So you connect, you stand out, your message is heard, and you reach more people easily. Sally's content agency works with change makers across the globe and publishing or media houses to maximize visibility by amplifying clients' wisdom and insights. Sally has an amazing offer for you, so stay tuned. Sally has built up a network of strong business owners. My question to you is, Sally, what do you love best about what you do?
Insights is the word for me, and wisdom. So I'm a personal development almost junkie. So I love people listening to people's insights and their wisdom and seeing them demonstrate their inner genius. Hence why I do what I do.
Okay, wonderful. Okay, so I've got a series of 7 questions for you today for our listeners. And question number one is, who is your ideal client?
My ideal client are speakers, authors, and experts who do create content. They often write books or are in the process of writing books, but they're sort of looking, going, I've got all this great stuff. What do I do with it? So they're sort of at that point where they're wanting to work out what they could do with it all, and they're looking to sort of get into that realm of being sought after and sold out. So they're looking for leverage and more opportunities.
Suppose that can be very challenging for some of them, just not knowing where to go or how to do it.
Yeah, very much so. So that's is generally the biggest problem for them, is that, what do I do next? How do I leverage this? What's my next step?
Okay, so question number two is, what problem do you solve?
Now, for me, the clients would say we actually help them with with their invisibility, or the fact that on occasion they're unheard. And I'll explain that even though they're experts and they're doing great stuff within their industry, they're still on that roller coaster ride of being visible, then being invisible, then being heard, then being not heard. And as a result of that sort of roller coaster ride, they have unpredictable results. So the clients would say we help them with their visibility, we help them to be heard, and we help them create more predictable results, generally speaking. For me, my, I suppose, lens on that is we actually solve the problem of consistency and leverage. And I say that because even though I'm classified as a marketer, my background is business development. And one of the things that I've worked out over the life in this industry for the last sort of 15 years is that successful brands are a product of trust. Trust is actually a product of consistency, and consistency is actually the most powerful differentiator there is in the marketplace. So most people struggle with consistency and then don't know how to leverage that, and that's where we actually specialize. So we specialize in consistency and leverage, but that the result for them is that more visibility, more ability to be heard and seen, and attractive to a marketplace.
Okay, thank you for that, Sally. And question number three, and you've already touched on this, but you might want to expand on it a little bit. What are the typical symptoms people experience with that problem?
Oh, big ones. Frustration, fatigue,
Mm-hmm.
and generally they're over created. So the frustration and fatigue is often because they've been creating so much content. They're sort of almost stuck in this different hamster wheel of being over created. So continually creating content, new content, new content, new content, new content. And because they're not getting the results, they keep creating more content, trying to work out what's happening in the marketplace. So they end up over created, and that results in fatigue and frustration. The fatigue and frustration is not only for themselves, is also often the inability, because they're not sure what's going on or how or where to start with repurposing their content. They actually can't train a virtual assistant or somebody in their business. So they get stuck in this spot where they actually can't do more with less. And that gets really frustrating for them as well.
Sounds like a treadmill they just can't get off.
Yeah, exactly. Well said.
Okay, so question number 4. What are the common mistakes people make when trying to solve that problem when they haven't got someone like you in their corner?
There's probably a number of them. I think that I'll sort of rattle off the top 5 for me. Is generally the first one is that they don't see the massive value that they have within their existing content. And that's usually caused by not knowing where to start or what to use, or often how to do it, which I mentioned before. The remaining over-created is the next sort of, it's almost like a sort of a ripple effect. So it's not seeing the massive value, being stuck in that over-created space where they can't create leverage, so they get stifled with growth because they don't have the ability to do more with less. That then ripples down into what I call inconsistent marketing and business development. So they get stuck in the creation, so they get stuck doing marketing and posts. But as a result of that, they're not connecting and conversing and building relationships with their audience. So their business development side of things suffers. Then what we see them do with all of that is they start overselling or over positioning or promoting themselves, and they're doing, look at me, here I am, here's my event, here's my book, here I am, here's my event, here's my book, which I know it's a bit cheeky to say it like that. We've all absolutely done that. But what this is doing, and they're not realizing, is pushing their audience away versus bringing their audience to them, which can be simply done by sharing teachable moments and insights and wisdom. So helping to educate, if I put it down to, instead of over promoting, if you actually helped educate and give your audience forward movement, that becomes much more attractive. And then the big one where we tend to focus is telling instead of enrolling. So again, lots of copy and content, not a lot of emotive visuals being used, which is where we specialise.
Okay, great insights. Thank you for that, Sally. Question number 6. What's the one valuable free resource that you can direct people to that is going to help them even more?
Yeah, beautiful. One thing they can do is stop, look, and sort of start to work out what content has worked well for them and work out what they can do with that one single piece that's worked really well. From a free resource perspective, I'm going to direct people to my link tree, which is link tr.ee/Sally A. Curtis. Now that gives you all of my links, but the free resources on there, you've got 2 to choose between, and you can even have both of them. One is taking the content success quiz, which will give you a 16-page report and tips and tools of what you can do to improve your content and business development success. And there's also a free ebook on there that takes you through the 3 easy steps of turning your book into 2 years worth of content, and goes into a little mini training as well.
Well, thank you for that, Sally. That's very kind of you to give us those links. And question number 7, what's the one question I should have asked you, but I didn't?
The one question is probably, why do people struggle so hard to create their own content that demonstrates what they do well? So that's the insight around that I wanted to share. Is everybody struggles, even I struggle to create my own content because we don't see our inner genius. And that is because when we sit inside our own jar, we can't read the label on the outside.
Oh, I love that analogy.
Yes.
Okay, that's perfect. Sally Curtis, thank you so much for your time.
You've been an absolute pleasure. Thank you so much for allowing me to share some insights and some wisdom. Thank you.
You're welcome.